why the state must own enterprises. So why must the state own enterprises? It's a very important area that has to be a concern to all citizens and even people who are non-citizens, because they also come from their own countries. Now, it's an area that African countries or most African countries are failing to pay attention to. When you look at the whole thing about entrepreneurship, in my previous lesson, as I broke down all the forms of businesses, and then so we had enterprise, entrepreneur, we took them to a different level where we looked at the types of businesses or enterprises. So we focused on state and then the private, public corporation, and then we have the private sector. When we delved deeper, we looked at the forms that they take. If it is owned by one person, we mentioned sole proprietorship, we mentioned partnership. We went ahead to talk about joint stock companies or limited liability companies. We also have cooperatives established by groups that have similar mindsets, belong to a particular profession or group. Okay, so we can have farmers. What is their mindset? Are they producing? So we have those who are making sure that they are advertising products, or those that are into production, those that are into manufacturing. So that is what we have for cooperatives. We can have teachers, we can have nurses coming together to form cooperatives. Now, so we'll leave that and focus on the state enterprises. Why must they be established? I think we need to call for that. We need to call for that. When you look at the state companies in Ghana here, the Ghana Commercial Bank, we have the Tema Oil Refinery, Volta River Authority, GTP, where we produce textiles, ATL, Akosumo Textiles Limited. So all these companies are vital. See the number of people they have employed. So what are state enterprises? So state enterprises are business units or enterprises or businesses set up or established, managed, controlled by the state. They are managed and controlled by the state. And normally they come into existence through an act of parliament. Okay. But what is their main motive or main aim? Their main aim is to render essential services. We can call those essential services utility services. That is why we have companies like the Electricity Company of Ghana. We have Ghana Water Company doing their own thing, supplying us with water. So those are basic utilities and we need them. So they are essential services. Yes, people pay money, you pay bills, or we pay bills when those services are given or rendered. But we have to keep in mind that it is very important. They also need some money to keep the company running. The products, the things they buy, the raw materials, what they have to put together to get us the water and the electricity or the power. We need to also ensure we pay our bills. Okay, so those companies are big companies, large companies. So one key area, one reason why I think that state-owned enterprises should be established is the fact that they provide jobs or employment or create employment avenues. So you can see the number of people working in the Electricity Company of Ghana. If that company doesn't exist, where will those people work? We have thousands of people employed in the Ghana Water Company Limited, Tema Oil Refinery, GTP, VRA, Valco, Volta Aluminium Company. All these are Ghana Commercial Bank. See the number of people that have been employed in that. That's the banking sector. So we've seen different areas. Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, okay, having different channels, having journalists working there, having secretaries, having accountants working there. So we see that is key, it's very important. So the area is a sector that can provide jobs for people. That is why the state must take interest in making sure that they create more enterprises or companies. What else can we look at? Let's talk about this area that has to do with how the private people come in and then set up, establish their enterprises or companies, and they begin to exploit the people. What are the private enterprises doing? Now, let's focus on their motive. So private enterprises are businesses or enterprises owned by private individuals. Okay, what is their aim? With the aim of making profit. So compare the two: essential services for state-owned enterprises, and then making profit. So their main motive is to make profit. That is why you buy their products or they render their services. You get quality service, but they are expensive. you pay more, okay, because that is their motive. They charge you more, and then their products are quite expensive, more expensive compared to state-owned. Now, when you see them coming in and establishing more business, that is going to lead to exploitation. It means that they are going to charge exorbitant prices, they are going to increase their prices, and then we are going to pay more. Okay, so we shouldn't even sell state companies that have been established, sell to the private people. Yes, of course, sometimes the citizens call for that because they think giving them to the private owners or individuals, they will manage them properly. Of course, people have that idea, but not all, especially the ones that provide vital services like electricity and water. We shouldn't be selling. So let them be in the system to create the competition. So when they are there, they are able to also look at the services that they are providing. So the private will not charge higher than that because they know if they charge too much, people cannot afford. So when the state companies are there or in existence, they see and compare their prices, and they are also able to sell their product. That's the private people are also able to sell their product at reasonable prices. So I think that is what we need to also look at. Apart from that, I think that the state-owned enterprises, when they are there, they should be in existence to serve as a pride of the state, the nation, because it belongs to all the citizens. Okay, as a pride. Okay, another thing too is that they can also be a revenue source, income source. Now, don't forget that as the workers are there, people are employed there, they pay taxes. And also, when they sell their products to, those products to are taxed, okay, and that can serve as revenue or income to the government as well. What about those that are into import and export? As they produce more, we can even ship them outside or export them to other countries, and that can also be an area where we can earn a lot of foreign exchange. So you can underestimate the strength or what the contribution of state-owned companies or enterprises, talking about our economy. Okay, so we have to look at that area. We shouldn't be selling our companies to private individuals when we have ways, things to put in place or the capacity to manage them. So that is their problem. So what are their problems? The problem is that they've not been able to manage them properly. So some of them also don't have the skilled personnel. The people have the technical know-how. So you can look at that too as a problem facing public operations or state-owned companies. Now, we can also talk about the fact that some of them, there's a whole lot of political interference in that area. So they are managers, they are managed by board of directors. So normally the president will appoint the chair of the board or head of that board to be in charge of that particular company. And I think when it happens like that, some political agents or people are put in charge of such companies, and they run the companies down. Most of them are not competent. We should have people, there should be a different mechanism or process of putting people who are managers or called board of directors in charge of such companies, so we can enjoy or have them doing what they have been created or set up for. Okay, so I think that area too has been a challenge. Okay, so that is it. What should the state companies do to support the private companies? I think the state has a bigger platform. Okay, the state is like, they are open, they accept the private investors, the private businessmen, so they can create a platform for training. Okay, platform for training, and that training can be extended to some of these private people, because if the private people don't put their things together properly or do their things well, it can also affect the customers, and these customers are the citizens in the state, and they will complain. So some form of or sessions of training can be held for the private business owners or the entrepreneurs, And then we can also talk about the fact that their products too can be advertised. Okay, the state, I've already said, has a bigger platform. They can advertise their products and then also ensure that they are regulated properly. Okay, they are regulated properly in the area of regulation and all those things. If there's this case of corruption and bribery and corruption, then it means that people are going to mess things up in the system, and that will not help. So let's look at that area too as well. The private people, to end this support, okay, so one of the support too is financial support. Okay, they should create rural banks are there, not to just serve just the people who are in the public sector, but also private individuals. Let's assist them, farmers, people who are into production of goods and the craft industry, kente weavers, and then those who make pots, the pottery industry. When you come to those who are also into livestock rearing, these people should be assisted. These people should be given some amount of fund, loans, credit facilities. Credit facilities can be offered, and then these people can also push their business from a small scale to a large scale. And I think that is going to boost the economy. So now that is it. If the people want the support, the private people want the support, what can they also do? You have to follow the rules, okay? Register your business. So here in Ghana, the Registrar General Department can be the office you can visit, and that business will be regularized or be registered for you. Apart from that, they should also pay their taxes. Pay your taxes. So we have Internal Revenue Service, GRA, Ghana Revenue, all these are there. They have to also make sure that the personnel are out there ensuring that these companies, the private sector is paying taxes. And most of the challenges we've had has been on the inability to collect taxes, especially from the private sector. When you look at those who are engaging in the night economy, those people who sell in the night and do all those things, there should be measures put in place to make sure that they collect taxes from these people. Let's look at the area where the products and the services they deliver. Yes, private people, we have seen the services. We have realized that when we compare them to the services that the public sector provides, they are far ahead. They are far ahead. The private is far ahead. So we also encourage them to produce quality goods. Quality goods. When you produce quality goods, government will not come and then vet them and say you are producing inferior or substandard goods. Therefore, your company has to be sanctioned or something. So let's look at that area also as well. So private owners, to gain this support from the government all the time or win their heart or love, you need to provide quality services, and also the product that you supply to your customers or your consumers should also be of high standard. These are some of the things that the private sector can do to earn support from the government. So we've seen why the state must own enterprises. We looked at how the government has been challenged, or public sector has been challenged in a way. We saw some of their problems, few of their problems, what they can do to support private businesses, and what private enterprises can also do to earn such support from the state. Okay, so I think this discussion has been clear and you have learned something or added to what you already know, and you've made good notes over there. I'll be coming your way with more interesting lessons. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done that. This is your first time you are watching. Share the video, like, put your questions in the comment box or section, and I'll address them. Thank you for watching GCL Tutorials. We'll call it a wrap.